Greetings of peace and love. My name is Ram Hotep, broadcasting on behalf of the number 13, ScienceAstrology.com. I thank you for listening. I thank you for watching. On this particular episode, I want to discuss the Andromedans again, and I want to clear up a few things pertaining to a few emails that I've been getting over the months about the last video I did on the Andromedans. Some things need to be cleared up in your heads. Now, in that video, I discussed how the Andromedans are a group of extraterrestrials that want to monitor and track everything, and they use bugs and taps and algorithms or what may have you. And after that video, a lot of people thought that Ram Hotep was saying that, because I also said that I basically was put into a simulation experience in a program in the video, and that I am now accepting of my situation as far as making a pact with the Andromedans. I talked about a 17-month ritual in the video. If you haven't watched that video, I suggest you watch it. It's called the Andromedans. And it's parentheses, the Insectillions. And I talked about this 17-month ritual that I was put in this abduction experience that I really won't talk about here, but I want to clear up a few things that I said. For those of you that watched that video, you'll know what I'm talking about. And when I said that I'm now accepting of the situation of the Andromedans, many people thought that I was linking myself in with the NSA. And many people thought that when I was talking about the Andromedans setting up the NSA, they thought that I was saying that the whole NSA is pro the Andromedans, and basically the Andromedans and the NSA are one and the same. Don't get it confused, people. Don't get it twisted. That's not what I'm saying. That's actually definitely not what I'm saying. Because of the fact that I told you that the Andromedans are manipulators. I told you that. And I told you that the Andromedans they have interests that they want to control. But they want to control things through monitoring and watching things. And they want to use a certain type of really fourth dimensional technology to control things. And if you study the NSA and what the NSA is doing, the NSA is using, they were tricked by the Andromedans. The NSA was duped by the Andromedans. That's what people fail to realize. The NSA is, for those people that may not be familiar with them or exactly what they are, they're supposed to be a security agency. And what they do is that they monitor people and they track people through electronic signals. And they use a certain type of technology. They use boots. They put boots on phones. They use cameras. They use tracking devices and things like that. And a lot of this technology isn't really available to the public, and it's given and released to the military first. But yet and still, it's technology that's from the third dimension. And the Andromedans were working with the NSA. I mean, the NSA, they've been around for about the past 50 years. And the Andromedans, they formed a pact with the NSA. But what you'll find out about aliens is, and it gets deep, is that aliens bring a lot of groups in. They'll bring people in, and they'll trick you. They'll dupe you. They'll give you technology to them that's like junk. They'll give you their junk technology. And basically, you'll feel like, because you got this technology now, you got this power or whatever. So what they did is they brought in a lot of NSA agents. And the NSA, over the past few years, you've noticed they've gained a lot of power. And a lot of that's due to the presidential office and certain presidential mandates that were signed off on, because obviously the president was working with the Andromedans during the time. So, and the thing is that people think that the Andromedans, like when they occupy you, I talked about how they can occupy you and how they can come down into your vessel. And people think that just because you're working with these groups, that you're with them. At any given time, they can 86 you. At any given time, they could push you to the side. They could kick you to the curb at any given time, because of the fact that these Andromedans, they deal in a series of rituals and they deal in a series of tests. So many people in the NSA, they got real power hungry, especially after I did my Andromedans video, because they watched that video and thought that that they was going to control some shit. They thought they were the Andromedans. And some of them probably thought I was crazy, and even a lot of them even attempted to try to come against me and they put more attempts on my life. And I know you're like, damn, nigga, these motherfuckers always putting attempts on your life. Like, what the hell's going on with this? Like, well, this is what happens when you a channeler. See, the NSA, they love to target. They're not really supposed to make human contact, for one thing. And most of what the NSA do, I'm gonna point this out right here, is unconstitutional. Here in the United States of America, the NSA is a rogue group for the most part. But the Andromedans used them for a time to wipe out a lot of these reptilians and a lot of these patriarchal, these forces that had weapons and guns and things like that. See, the Andromedans proved that you can win a war without using a gun or a weapon. And they used a lot of members. They used a lot of the members in the NSA to win this particular war. But don't get it twisted. There's groups, even on the technology level, that are higher than the NSA. Google and the technology that they deal with is higher than the NSA's technology. And the technology that the NSA was getting, whether they was getting it from aliens or whoever they was getting it from, you're getting junk technology. You've been duped. You've been tricked. So I'm not with the NSA. I'm not with the bullshit that they began to start to do to me, especially after I made the Andromeda's video. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? If you look at what's going on right now, is there's a big ritual playing out and it's centered around the NSA. The NSA is getting ready to lose a lot of power. Yeah, they have a lot of agents and things like that, and they have, like a $10 billion budget that's backing them or whatnot or what may have you, but they got most of their money from extorting nationals. The NSA been going over to other countries and extorting nationals and stealing money off of credit card machines and all kind of shit that the NSA does. You'll be surprised what they do with their technology, but just like I told you, the Andromedans are a higher group, and they were being watched. And the Andromedans, the thing with them is that they want to monitor everything, they want to bug everything, and they want to tap everything for a certain reason, for a specific reason. The reason why they want to do this is because they want to see the earth balanced out. They want to see the feminine principle come back into play. And they want to see us as humans make it to a stage where we can finally get to the mode of unlimited progress. See, that's what's wrong with the world right now. The world right now is still based on competition and putting one against the other, putting light skinned people against dark skinned people, putting rich people against poor people. So what the Andromedans want to do is that they want to even out the scale so that we can really make the real type of progress that we are to make. So the Andromedans, they've been peep game on the NSA and what they were doing. And why do you think Edward Snowden is at where he's at? The Black Prophet. Send a shout out to him. See, Edward Snowden, one man, single handedly, 86 a lot of what the NSA was doing because he was working with the Andromedans on a higher level. He put firewalls and blocks up on a lot of stuff that he was doing when he was given certain access to NSA documents, and he put firewalls and blocks up on his computer so you couldn't even infiltrate it because he was dealing with a higher technology. Google, they got hip to the NSA, and they created new algorithms and stuff that's harder than for the NSA to penetrate. Even Facebook, shout out to Zuckerberg. He even is now getting hip to the NSA and what they're doing and trying to extort nationals and trying to really take over the internet. And they use their iOS systems and they work with AT&T. See, they work with Verizon Wireless. But they fail to realize that the Andromedans, they're going to always even things out. So the Andromedans have begun to work with other people to combat even the NSA. Because the NSA is not, this is where I'm getting at, it's not the Andromedans. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to shut the video down because I just want to make this clear because I get a lot of emails about this because of the last video. I'm not on the side of the NSA because I know that anytime you got security, it stands for National Security Agency, any type real live street dude or any real live national figure knows that you got to watch your security. That's the biggest person you got to watch because the security guard will be the one to try to extort you because they're giving all of this power and they're giving all of these certain secret access codes. Say, for instance, the security guard of a bank. They know things that other people don't know. And in that comes responsibility, but in that is a test. And the Andromedans, they tested the NSA. Yeah, they gave you access to a lot of technology just to see what you was going to do with it. And then they seen that the people that they recruited weren't honest, trust a lot of them. I'm not saying every last one of them. But from the news documents, they're saying like 20% of the NSA is rogues, rogue agents, or whatnot. And they knew that they had a lot of rogue agents within the NSA that was going to use their power and abuse their power and use it to try to extort people and use it to try to take over people. I'm not saying that the agenda of the NSA was always negative and was always about extorting nationals and extorting indigenous people and taking lands from people. However, when you give a human being power, you test them. And this is how I know that we're not spiritual minded people. And that's what the Andromedans really wanted to see. They wanted to see how spiritual humans were, how spiritual we've become. So they gave them a lot of technology and they tested them, and the little voice inside of humans, the little demon inside of these humans, or the little crafty manipulators. Like, oh, you could use this app to do this with, or you could use that app to do that with, or you could kind of try to hack into his system, or you could try to take some money out of this person's bank account, or you could try to go rob that ATM machine, or you can go use this app to crash that airplane. Oh yeah, they got some apps that could do some shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, they got some apps that could do some shit, but the thing is that the Andromedans are dealing on a higher level. They gave you the weak technology. They gave you what's called junk technology. See, when they put those tags in me, that's a superior technology to what you have. You can have cameras. Like, I know the places that I go, hotels I go into, and all of that, they're bugged to the core from the NSA. People want to extort me because I'm a national, and all nationals are rich. Just period. All nationals are rich. That's just what it is, or whatever. So I'm a chief. All chiefs are rich, and I know that the NSA wants to watch me and monitor me. A lot of them are jealous. A lot of these rogue agents or what may have you are jealous, so they want to figure out a way in the situation to try to get to me, to try to infiltrate my movement, to try to infiltrate my channelings when I'm making videos, to try to hack into what I'm doing. But they use junk technology to do it, and those tags that were put into me, well, it was put, a superior technology was put into me. That's right. In this simulation experience, after I passed my initiations, what I talked about, a lot of stuff was activated in my DNA. You see, there were certain strands in my DNA that were activated, and now I'm functioning on a higher level. The codons in my DNA were activated. The missing codons that weren't activated in a lot of human beings were activated in me, and now I'm functioning on a higher level. And I realized this. You see, it's just like understanding 32-bit versus 64-bit. Human beings are designed like that. So you may be a human, but you're not utilizing 100% of your DNA. You're not utilizing 100% of your brain. You're not even utilizing 10% of it, according to most scientists. But when I did my experiments and went through my rituals, see, I became more of a superhuman. And I'm not trying to brag about myself because anybody can do this, but the thing is that you have to do the work to get there. And I've done the work on myself and I continue to do the work. So my mission doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, people think, like, why do you think I'm able to come up with these rituals? When I come up with these rituals and I do these rituals, it affects the world. Even when I do my left hand path rituals, they end up being right hand path rituals. They affect the world because I'm connected to a lot of people. So you can continue to do your little games, and and there was really a lot of women within the NSA. I believe were a lot of the rogues, and they got jealous because I said the group of Andromedans were a group of women that were matriarchs, and they felt like they watched that video and was like, damn, so we could be like the matriarchs or whatever, and they felt like I was talking about them. Women within the NSA, I'm not talking about you. These are real live women that are queens for one thing, and that, like I said, they're from the earth, but they were queens, which is a big difference than just your regular person that's working for somebody. If you're working for somebody, how are you a queen? You're not a matriarch. You're not a sovereign. A king or a queen is a sovereign. So these were sovereign queens that went to that particular planet and set this thing up thousands of years ago from the Mayan civilization to prepare for this particular time. And they put in me all kind of stuff to where I can read your thoughts. Like I say, I know who's coming around the corner, what you're planning to do. I know what you're thinking about doing 3 months in advance, and I may not even know you. You see, because I sit around here and I do energetic channels all day. I understand. I work with E5. But see, when I work with E5, I'm working with E5 as an extraterrestrial. You see, when I do my rituals, I'm working my rituals knowing that it's working with an extraterrestrial. See, I do voodoo, but I do extraterrestrial voodoo. So I came up with my own particular science that based on the DNA that was activated in me. So when I do my rituals, I'm coming up with rituals that most people aren't thinking. I'm coming up with stuff that most people aren't thinking about. And that's why you can't really hack into me. Even when you think you got my bank accounts and everything taken over, because what you guys have done before, and even when you think, you know what I'm saying, that you've taken over my life and you got me in some prison, I always hack my way out. Why? Because I'm dealing with 4D technology that's past wires, that's past algorithms even. This is stuff dealing with occult science. This is occult science technology. This is numerology. This is palm ministry on another level though, because I'm mixing it with extraterrestrial intelligence. So the Andromedans are a group of beings that are their intel is higher than your intel. That's what I'm getting at. If you want to be initiated into a call order, like I said on that video, we meet on dreams. I've had dreams with the Andromeda since then. It's gotten way deeper. I've been took into the center of the earth and been shown their base and their kingdom here, and have been given certain knowledge and information. I know people on the surface and who's with us on our side and who's not. So I know who to trust. I know how to play both sides too. See, I've been taught politics, an extraterrestrial form of politics. And that's why people, they can't understand, man. You may think I'm warped and everybody's like, well, thank you for putting yourself out there because people are going to think. I don't care about that. I don't care what people think. I know if they really get on this level to where I'm at, you got to roll solo. There are going to be very few people, and the people that are with you aren't going to be able to really associate with you in public over time because we have to get past the NSA and the agents and the people that's watching, and they're dealing with a lower form of technology, so they got to track you the old way, the old-fashioned way. They got to go hack into your computer and have people set up outside to watch you when you come out your house and all of that type of stuff. I know which companies to deal with. There's certain companies that are with the Andromedans, the true Andromedans, and there's certain companies that are using junk technology from the Andromedans. They may have been working with the Andromedans, but they got 86th. Like for instance, I'll bring up AT&T. Study AT&T. AT&T stands for robberies. Really, to me, 211. That's how I look at it because of the numerological code that is based on 211. According to the police, is a robbery taking place. But if you study AT&T and the history of it, you'll find out that they demonopolized. The U.S. government sued AT&T back in 1974. They had a monopoly going on. They was working with the Andromedans, but they got power hungry. See, as soon as you get too bold for your bridges, the Andromedans will 86 you. They'll cut you off. As soon as you start to feel like you're the end all, you're the superior power, and you're the end all be all, and you got all the technology, and can't nobody defeat you. That's when you lost. That's when you lost. You notice back in 1974, they began to break up the AT&T monopoly. They began to bring in new companies to combat them because they knew that they was going to use AT&T and T, and they was going to be significant in using them to try to infiltrate a lot of nationals and a lot of people that are trying to bring in feminine principle and a lot of channelers and basically people that are siding with progress, unlimited progress, and people that are siding with balance. They knew that Comcast, for instance, was going to buy up NBC, and they knew that. See, there's certain news stations that's even working with these guys, man. So what you got to realize is every think tank. I'll say this. I said it on the last video, and I'm gonna say it again, and I promise I'm done. Every think tank is working with an extraterrestrial group, whether it's Andromedans, whether it's the Syrians, whether it's the Pleiadians. But the thing is, you know what the big difference is that all of these extraterrestrial groups aren't necessarily with each other. So you may be working with the Syrians. One particular group or think tank may be working with the Syrians. Another group or think tank may be working with the Pleiadians. And another one may be working with the Andromedans. And then you even got beings within all of those constellations that aren't with each other. So you may be working with the Andromedans, but which group? Are you working with the insects, the warrior class? Are you working with the females? Are you working with the five-dimensional Andromedans that can't even be seen? That the ones that I'm talking about right now that will come to you through light codes and light code transmissions and give you certain information that you need to know and have a certain spiritual system that you've already mastered in order for them to even communicate with you. For instance, you can't even communicate on these higher levels with these certain Andromedans if you haven't mastered the Kabbalah or if you haven't mastered astrology. You need a medium or something that you've mastered to even get to the level to even be able to communicate with the higher ups and a lot of these different orders and things of that nature, a lot of these different extraterrestrial orders. So that's going to do it for me. I'm just trying to let people know that the NSA is not the same thing. So Ram Hotep is not saying, because people was like, "Are you trying to say you with the NSA? You with that?" Like, nah, dude, I ain't with that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with that. I ain't with what they're doing. I mean, it may be some good people within the NSA, but a lot of them are rogues. Because like I said, with power comes responsibility, and a lot of humans were just not ready for power and responsibility. This is why we can't make the shift properly, because people keep bucking and fighting, and they don't want to do what's right, and they don't want to cooperate, which means to work together. You don't want to be cooperative. You see, you want to be the master. You want to be the master manipulator. And that's not going to work in this day and time. So that's going to do it for me on this particular segment. I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for watching. And until my next, I'll leave you in. Namaste.